In a world that demands more, it's easy to feel overwhelmed. But what if improving your life meant letting go of what no longer serves you? In this episode, we'll explore 10 things to quietly eliminate for more clarity, peace, and purpose. Inspired by Stoic principles, these actionable changes help remove the clutter, mental, emotional, and physical, that holds you back. By the end, you'll have a roadmap to focus on what truly matters and embrace personal transformation. Let's begin. Lesson 1. Overcoming the fear of others' opinions. How often do you adjust your actions, words, or dreams because of what others might think? This subtle fear can sneak in without you even realizing it, causing you to hesitate, second-guess yourself, or hold back from trying new things. Over time, it shapes your identity and makes you live a smaller, quieter life, focusing on external approval rather than personal fulfillment. The truth is, people aren't thinking about you nearly as much as you think. Most are caught up in their own worries and lives. Even if someone judges you, ask yourself, what impact does their opinion really have on my life? Usually, the answer is none. Their thoughts don't pay your bills or help you live your dreams. Once you realize this, you understand that the weight of others' opinions is optional. Stoic philosopher Epictetus taught us to focus on what we can control: our thoughts, actions, and attitudes. You can't control how others perceive you, but you can control how much you let their opinions affect you. Personal growth often involves discomfort, including being judged or misunderstood. To start letting go of this fear, recognize when it happens. Ask yourself, am I acting out of fear or in line with my values? When in doubt, challenge the fear and ask, what's the worst that could happen? Often, it's far less than you imagine. Start small by stepping outside your comfort zone, share an idea, try something new, or dress differently. With each step, you'll care less about external validation and more about living authentically. Surround yourself with people who support your growth and authenticity, not those who stifle it. Ultimately, the goal isn't to avoid judgment, but to build enough inner strength so that others' opinions no longer control you. True belonging comes from being yourself, not from fitting in. In the end, ask yourself, do you want to live for others' expectations or stay true to who you are? Most judgments will be forgotten, but the choices you make for yourself will stay with you forever. Overcoming the fear of others' opinions is about placing your happiness and peace at the center of your life, not external approval. Once you do, your path becomes your own. Lesson 2. Cutting out toxic relationships. You've probably heard that you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. But what happens when some of those people drain your energy, undermine your confidence, or make you question your worth? Toxic relationships can be subtle. They don't always come with obvious negativity. Sometimes, they are marked by persistent tension, subtle criticism, or one-sided connections. Toxic relationships quietly erode your well-being, making you feel anxious, unappreciated, or even trapped. Over time, this can lead to decreased self-respect and increased stress. But many of us hold on to these relationships out of guilt or fear of confrontation. Cutting out toxic relationships doesn't have to be dramatic. Start by distancing yourself gradually. Spend less time with those who bring negativity into your life and more time with people who uplift and support you. Pay attention to how you feel after spending time with someone. If you feel drained or anxious, that relationship may be toxic. Healthy relationships should leave you feeling energized and supported. Stoicism teaches us to protect our peace and surround ourselves with those who bring out the best in us. Setting boundaries is key. For example, if a friend constantly brings drama, limit your engagement with them or steer conversations away from tension-causing topics. Some toxic relationships can improve with open communication, but if nothing changes after you've tried, it's okay to let go. Letting go doesn't mean you don't care. but it's about prioritizing your mental health. To start, list the people who uplift you and those who drain you. Ask if the draining relationships can be improved or if it's time to create distance. Then take action, whether it's limiting time spent with them or setting boundaries. You deserve to create an environment that supports your growth. Remember, cutting out toxic relationships is not about being harsh. It's about being kind to yourself and creating space for healthier connections and a more peaceful life. True self-respect comes from surrounding yourself with people who see your worth and help you become the best version of yourself. Lesson 3. Breaking free from destructive habits. We all have habits that seem harmless, like scrolling through social media late at night or procrastinating on important tasks. But over time, these small behaviors can drain your energy, lower your productivity, and hurt your well-being. Destructive habits weaken self-discipline and prevent you from living the life you truly want. Breaking free starts with awareness. Many bad habits operate on autopilot, so the first step is identifying them. Ask yourself, what habits leave me feeling worse? What's holding me back? Once you recognize these habits, you can begin eliminating them. Stoicism teaches self-mastery, the ability to control your desires and impulses instead of being controlled by them. One effective strategy is replacing a bad habit with a positive one. For example, instead of mindlessly scrolling on your phone, pick up a book or go for a walk. Replace the void with something better. Start small, focus on one habit at a time, and make gradual changes. If you're trying to stop late-night snacking, start by swapping one unhealthy snack for something nutritious. Self-compassion is key. Breaking habits isn't easy, and setbacks will happen. Instead of beating yourself up, use those moments as learning opportunities. Reflect on what triggered the behavior and how you can handle it better next time. Here's a simple exercise. Pick one habit to change for a week. Focus on replacing it with something positive, track your progress, and reflect on how you feel at the end of the week. Ask yourself, am I controlling my habits, or are they controlling me? Remember, small, consistent actions lead to lasting change. By eliminating habits that don't serve you, you create space for healthier routines that support your growth and well-being. True progress is about those small steps toward a better life. Lesson 4. Letting go of the need to control everything. How often do you try to control every detail of your life, your job, relationships, or outcomes that are out of your hands? The desire for control gives us a sense of safety, but the more we try to control everything, the more stressed and anxious we become. Life is unpredictable, and clinging to control only leads to frustration when things don't go as planned. Letting go of control doesn't mean being passive, it means focusing on what you can control and releasing what you can't. Stoic philosopher Epictetus said, "Some things are up to us, and some things are not." Direct your energy toward controlling your thoughts, actions, and reactions, and accept that you can't control everything. For example, if you're stuck in traffic on the way to an important meeting, you can't control the traffic, but you can control how you respond. You can choose to get angry, or you can accept the situation and use the time wisely. The situation remains the same, but your experience changes based on your reaction. To let go of control, start by embracing uncertainty. Acknowledge that not everything is within your control and that worrying about it only adds stress. Practice detachment from outcomes by focusing on doing your best and letting go of needing a specific result. When things don't go as planned, pause and ask yourself, is this something I can control? If yes, take action. If no, practice letting go. Over time, this habit will help you stay calm in uncertainty. Mindfulness also helps. Being present in the moment reduces the urge to control everything. Try focusing on your breath or observing your surroundings without judgment to train your mind to stay in the present. Letting go of control doesn't mean giving up, it means choosing peace over anxiety. Life will always have uncertainties, but by focusing on what you can control, you reclaim your energy and find clarity and calm in the process. Lesson 5. Releasing unrealistic expectations. Unrealistic expectations are silent saboteurs. They create a constant gap between what you hope life will be and what it actually is, leading to disappointment, frustration, and stress. Whether it's expecting people to always meet your standards, assuming success should come quickly, or believing everything should go smoothly, unrealistic expectations set you up for failure. The problem isn't having goals or desires, but attaching too tightly to a specific outcome and forgetting that life is unpredictable. Stoicism teaches us to be realistic and flexible. As Marcus Aurelius said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. This means you can't control life's unfolding, but you can control how you respond when things don't go as planned. One source of unrealistic expectations is perfectionism. Setting impossibly high standards often leaves you feeling like you're never enough. Letting go of perfectionism means embracing progress and learning from mistakes. Similarly, expecting perfection from others sets you up for disappointment. People have their own struggles and limitations. Practice acceptance and empathy instead. To release unrealistic expectations, identify where your expectations are too high. Are you expecting instant results or holding others to impossible standards? Shift your mindset toward flexibility. Prepare for different outcomes and accept that life is full of surprises. A practical exercise: reflect on an area where you're frustrated. Ask, is it because of unrealistic expectations? If yes, reframe your expectation and focus on what you can control: your effort, attitude, and response. Letting go of unrealistic expectations doesn't mean giving up. It means freeing yourself from unnecessary stress and disappointment. Life rarely goes as planned, but by releasing rigid expectations, you make space for acceptance, gratitude, and peace.